That's what MAGA does, is they're trying to celebrate mental illness. Robert Kennedy, all of it. You got a DHS secretary that literally swam in, sewer water and stuff like that, and had worms in his brain, and yeah, this is, so much of MAGA. It's hard to talk about MAGA without talking about people that are really mentally ill. I believe that at a basic level, not even discernment. As a man, people that are not all well. So this QAnon shaman gentleman, tattoos all over his back and the Indian headdress. And, I had forgotten until I saw that stuff just how crazy the time was of him standing out there with the sign. It's kind of a meme or something you sent me, and he was talking about he doesn't regret it, but that he's against Trump because of the Epstein stuff. Not releasing Epstein stuff, and he said something at the end. They got me. That this once again, he's a dumbass. Like a lot of these Trump, they're dumb. And the minute that they're confronted by somebody that's got a brain cell, they're like, that's what I got. That's what I got from that. You see, well, nobody can really tell, and we don't know, and that's what he said. And it hit me that that's what his job was, to make everything murky. He's right. We can't figure out what things are and why things are because we're too busy dealing with dumbasses like you that just think everything's about dumb, ignorant shit that you pull out your ass to scare away. You see, QAnon shaman is, I don't even like calling him that because he didn't like calling himself that. I don't like that. But whatever. He's a freak. He's an angry, freakish white man that can probably hurt somebody and do some real damage. He's one of these white people that operate off this bully stuff. They want to go bully gay people and trans people and stuff. And Trump gave them the moment to be the worst attribute of themselves. See, it's like when I talk about black people in these movies like Clockers and stuff, all this ghetto stuff, and I'm like, why can't they show us in better positions? He's the white version of that. Of white people operating on just a low intellectual level. And every race has him. That's what he is. And they used him to dumb things down and to go out and commit violence. And that way we say, oh, we don't know anything. Right, because people like you are too busy doing violence. You get about violence over legitimacy. It also hit me with him, what he was saying, that this is an example of what we say about white people. That if you're a white man, none of this really matters anyway. It's all a game. If you want to run on the Capitol, no big deal. You want to kill cops? It's no big deal, man. You want to go smear feces on the wall of the Capitol? It's no big deal. You want to go in the Michigan Capitol with battle rifles and go up and stand over the people? It's no big deal. You want to threaten to kidnap the governor of Michigan and blow up a tree to block the bridge and kidnap her? It's no big deal. If you're white and you want to do violence to upset the system, it's not a big deal. And you see that now that he's gotten partners. He's back living his life. He ain't facing no consequences for that. So of course to him he doesn't regret it. Because he paid no consequence. You see how it works? He paid no consequence. So why would he feel bad? He went to jail. They got him vegan food. They got him vegan food enough. That woman, Ashley Babbitt, that got shot, her family got millions for trying to run in there and assault government officials. So why would he feel bad? He came up. I bet he got a whole bunch of money from GoFundMe from rich white people. We know Trump had some kind of a bail fund or something set up. Cash Patel had something to do with that too. Money to run on the Capitol. So he won. The QAnon shaman, we're living in the world he wanted. Right? Yeah, he doesn't agree with Trump fucking kids. Okay, whatever, talk about that later. But he got what he wanted. He got He got vegan food when he went to jail. He got pardoned. He probably made a whole bunch of racist friends when he did it. And racist friends he made in jail. He probably wasn't no high intellect white man anyway, where he's like trying to like get a job in an office or something. He don't care. He's not gonna get a job nowhere else, but he doesn't care. And these are the kind of white folks they want. If they gave him money, they didn't need to give him money because he's a low-life white man anyway. There was never any chance of him getting shot or killed or sued, right? This is the white man's world. I don't feel bad about any of us as a black man because you've showed us your law has no moral basis whatsoever. And you want it like that. Otherwise, Trump wouldn't be in office. So if you're white, once again, I keep saying this in every video, if you're white, you ain't gotta care about really nothing. Yeah, you gotta care about getting laid off and health insurance and the cost of living and stuff like you gotta care about that. Food going up. Yeah. But as far as like civil rights, voting rights, you ain't gotta care about nothing. If you're white, you gotta care about nothing. Right? And especially now this science is saying that the industries you're involved in are harming the environment because we don't care about the environment no more. The EPA, they did something the other day. Now they make it where they don't have to. When they look at it, they don't have to compute the amount of lives that would be saved by an action, right? Because lives don't matter. No one's life matters. It's all about money and white supremacy, right? So, look at it with Jacob. Jacob, you got what you wanted. You win. A bunch of cops got hurt. Some officers got killed. A couple of officers had to retire because of the injuries. They still hurt. Get ribs broken and stuff. Bust their head up and all that. Yeah. You don't care about that though, right? You're out of prison. Your guy's in office. Let me say something else too. Him saying that, oh, it was a beautiful Epstein and stuff. Well, that's because when it comes, and it's hitting them the same way. They only use these dumb, ignorant people for a moment. You saw that with Hitler and the brown shirts. They did all it. Basically, they were putting down like communists and social protests. They were putting down a lot of blood. They were doing things that the Berlin police wouldn't do, that the government wouldn't do. But after a certain amount of time, what it was, Ernest Röhm thought that he'd be put in the lead of the German army at some point. And there's no way in the world the German army would have been led by homosexuals. That's what he wrote books on it. There's no way in the world they would have done that. And he served his purpose and they had to take him out. That's what these guys are. They're not supposed to be alive right now. They're supposed to be dead. But you never leave the brown shirts around because the brown shirts are only there for a moment. That's how far right stuff works. This isn't about making life better for people. It's about making lives hellish and pimping the government so that your people can make a bunch of money on the outside. I never thought Trump's son would be getting rich. I was just talking about, I wasn't on inside trading. I was talking about like industrialists. Yeah, I was talking about that. But that's, it's never supposed to be to help anybody, And that's what this was. That's what it was. So where I'm going with it is, it's like when it comes to people like Hitler and Trump, there's chapters, like The Godfather or something. There's chapters, There's no one stream of consciousness in chapters. It may start off something good here, good there, but it ends up with authoritarianism. So of course you're not going to like what Trump is doing because he believed in Trump. He believed it. See, listening to him, Jacob, is a reminder of how dumb MAGA is. That they believe this Pizzagate shit. The guy went to a restaurant in New York with a gun, coming to show me the basement, because he believed they were holding kids in them. I don't know why people think it's a joke. There's crackers that really think this stuff is real, and they're willing to kill for it. And that happened. Guy went to a place with a gun and threatened people. And that's what he is. He's one of those kind of people without the gun. that's willing to put his body, mind, soul, family name on the line for a bunch of people who know nothing about. And now, he's realized, and we're realizing that it was all bullshit and never meant anything. That's my God. That's what they are. He's our earlier version of Manga. You see? Because he probably still doesn't understand, acknowledge. Because I would ask him about the Epstein documents. How you feel about Trump withholding them? We got 1% of it. The stuff we found about a bunch of rich white men that are Republicans on it. What do you think about that? Maybe it's not Democrats doing it. He was an idiot. The rest of them, they were idiots. They did violence, but number one, they're idiots that were used to push an agenda of violence against a system you know nothing about, and a system that in the end gave them a pass because they're fucking white men. And if you're white, nothing really matters because it's all a game. He faced no consequences. There was no justice for the families of the officers that were hurt and killed, the people in Congress that were fearful and scared. There's no consequence.